Hey, Read Through the Word. Today is March 1st. March! Here we are. Today's March 1st, and today's lesson is called Arise, O Lord. We are in Numbers chapter 10, verses 33 through 36. And it says this. They marched for 3 days after leaving the mountain of the Lord, with the ark of the Lord's covenant moving ahead of them to show them where to stop and rest. And as they moved on each day, the cloud of the Lord hovered over them. And whenever the ark set out, Moses would shout, "Arise, O Lord, and let your enemies be scattered. Let them flee before you." And when the ark was set down, he would say, "Return, O Lord, to the countless thousands of Israel." Okay, so if you were paying attention the other day, some of you pay really close attention to things I say. And you remember that there were there's 3 sections in the book of Numbers, and we're ending. These verses are the very end of chapter 10 and the very end of this good section. Chapter 11 start the protests. So here we are, is after a year at Mount Sinai, it was time to move on toward the promised land. And they departed in an orderly manner with the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord in the front. They were given a visible representation of the Lord's presence as he guided, protected, and illuminated the camp. I don't always think about that. You've got thousands of people in tents, and they had a huge fire as they're walking through, you didn't need to stop. You could just keep going because you had your own lighting from God. And Moses cried out a request, and I want us to look at that request. He asked the Lord to defend his people. You're like, oh, I wonder why he's asking that. Do we need to be defended from anyone? He proclaimed that then the enemies would be scattered. He wished that those who would hate the Lord would flee. This is also a foreshadowing, there's my English term, foreshadowing of things to come. But Moses was also asking the Lord to dwell among his people through the night. Moses is, what he's doing when he says, "Arise, O Lord," is asking the Lord to maintain his presence with them day and night, all the time. The very thing that Moses pleaded for, "Lord, please do not withhold your presence. Be with us." This prayer is what Moses wants for his people. But by no mistake, it is right before Numbers chapter 11. It is a very stark contrast to what Israel shows themselves to be. The people's actions will show themselves to believe that God isn't doing enough for them. It seems to be that that's like the theme of probably the last 2 weeks of lessons, is whatever he does, it's never enough. Even today, we act like the cross was not enough. My best friend says that. She says, what more are we asking him to do for us? He's given us the cross. What else do we want? Remember that idea that the same ideas keep circling back and keep circling back. What we're dealing with here is the people whose theology and apologetic do not match. I had this conversation with my Sunday school class. We're doing apologetics. I had this conversation with my Bible class, who I'm doing theology and apologetics with, as a devotion for our staff at my school. The same idea echoed back through this week of theology and apologetic. And I really think that's what we're dealing with here. And I'm going to bring it forward to us now. So, let's talk. Theology. Theology is theo, and then ology. Ology meaning the study of, and theo is God. So theology is our theology is what we believe about God. I tell my students this. I pulled an R.C. Sproul quote. It says, everyone is a theologian. Not everyone's a good one. Everyone has a thought about God. Some believe he doesn't exist. Some believe that he exists inside of everything, because there's a pantheist. Some believe that he's a far-off God, has nothing to do with his people. That's a deist. And so you've got all of these ideas that are out there. So these people here are the people of God. And Moses is saying, arise, God, defend us. We believe you. You're going to be with us. We want you with us. We want you with us. But they're going to turn around in the next verse and show living something different than what they say they believe. And so theology, what they believe about God. Apologetic is your defense of your faith. Really, theology is what you say. Your apologetic is how you live. How do you live out a defense of your faith? How do your actions show what you believe? Your actions are informed. Your apologetic should be informed by your theology. If it isn't, then where's the disconnect? The disconnect is usually you don't believe what you say you believe. So there's a disconnect right there between your theology and your apologetic. And so they say they believe all these things about God, but in the very next verse, they're going to start complaining about absolutely everything. It's like living with Goldilocks. Except for it's just right. It's too hot. It's too cold. There's not enough food. We want bread. We want water. We want meat. We don't like that meat. That's what they sound like. Yeah. You hear it. Well, you just said that you believe that God's enough. He will take care of the enemies. He will be with you at all times. And now, so that's your theology, but your apologetic is, he does nothing for me. Woe, ho, oh, woe is me. I'm saying, is this not us? What is our theology like? What do we believe about, or what do we say we believe about God? What we say we believe about God and what we really believe is shown by our apologetic. Do our theology and our apologetic match? If they don't, that's why, that's number one. I'll go back to number one reason that people will not become a Christian is the people that they watch around them that claim to be Christian and the lives they live. God cannot be real if these people live like this. Don't want nothing to do with it. So the first thing I tell my students, people walking around where their apologetic and their theology do not match is the biggest reason. Well, you know what? The biggest reason that our number one thing we're supposed to do is our theology and apologetics should match to draw people to God. That's what's happening here. It's a nation created by God by which he would make himself known through the world. That the whole world would look at them and go, oh, this is what it's like to be the people of God. We want to be one. Tell us about God. But what they're showing is their theology and their apologetic are so off that no one will want to have anything to do with their God. Is that true of us? Is our theology and apologetics so far apart that we are not doing the very thing we're created to do to glorify God? Here's our big warning. We need to pay close attention to what happens with these people. And we'll do that next time on Read Through the Word.